Good, beautiful morning. It's Leanne. It's your girl. I'm here with my colors. Simple things. Simple, beautiful things of appreciation. And the topic that's coming through on my day off today, while Blisto continues to talk through me and as I gear up myself through this rebranding for the sake of look and for the sake of quality service, the one thing that came up to me through some personal awakening is, what are you willing to be open to and to go through in order to dissolve the ego? My father says this one thing about ego, it makes it easier to understand ego is etching God out. And there may be a lot of things that my own spiritual progress and awakening has come through diversity in all religious aspects and multiculturalism and stuff that my family don't have, but what my family do have, ordinariness allowed me to appreciate. And so when I talk about this important topic about what you're willing to go through in letting go of your ego, is so that the change and the mutation process of this enlightenment, that we all know this big word that we're passing through, that it can happen. And what does that truly mean? And what does this whole topic mean to me right now? Passing through my own personal journey of growth, of life, and the different cycles of life, we pass through a lot with family, religion, the body change, family ways, whether we have the perfect ideal family or not, we accept and we flourish. Now spiritually, while we're evolving through that, and because we're in the times of shift of consciousness, which everybody's talking about, at a different speed, what does that truly mean for me? Something I had to experience, a lot of things I had to experience, was really understanding my mind. And there were certain methodologies that allowed me to become clear in understanding my connection with existence. But to truly understand my mind, there was dynamic techniques that one great master had offered me. Now, other masters before that, and other great masters that were a part of my evolution of consciousness, they would meet me on a dream state. And because I knew I was in a different place that was very different, I knew it was real. Because I remembered, I felt, and I learned lessons from ascended masters. And that all came from having some faith as a child that there was a heaven, that there was a Jesus, and that there was something other than me, and there was a respect ingrained in me. Now, throughout that process of how I worked with my ego is my own individual story, but how I came to understand this idea about God being this energy versus a form. God became that unlimited thing for me when he also became consciousness, and he became existence, and he became this unknown vast energy, which is always new. And so why I talk about the importance of what you're willing to go through on your journey is because when you have the taste of this multi-dimension of light, and you have the taste of truth, and you have this true understanding from within yourself, and you recognize your soul, and you recognize something bigger than what's going on in this ordinary world, you realize the balancing of it, moving towards balance, is that you need to just move towards balance. And what I mean here is that what I've evolved through in my own personal understanding with working with the ego is that when this mass consciousness of divine source, which can take a form and which can also be formless as God's power, wants to have a relationship with you, you need to be able to let go of a lot of things which you believe. And belief alone is also the free will to play. So here you don't have belief because you let it go, and then you also have a belief so that you can co-create. And so coming back to this whole thing with ego and the importance with ego and what you're willing to go through to let go of that ego is how we identify with ourselves as an individual. We need this ego to separate ourselves with everybody and everybody that's in their own process of life itself. But we also don't need to attach to it when we come to understand the soul. And understanding the soul is our true identity. And the evolution of our consciousness is identifying ourselves as consciousness, as the soul. And from there, we become open to receiving the treasures of the guidance system that we have, of this amazing opportunity to learn and to unlearn with life. Now, I spoke a lot about many things because it took many things for me to get here. It took many things for me to want a really divine relationship. It took me not having relationships to know what I want in relationships. And how to work with the ego and how to let go. And the importance of the path of least resistance. So this talk I just wanted to share with you so I could get this feeling out of the importance of when I come to a crossroad with my personal growth. While I worked through my ego, I really came to understand more and more and more that source was available for me all the time. But the more that I was conditioned in not having source there all the time, the more I tried to make solutions with my ego. And the ego is purchased by the many things of this vast world that turn into suffering. And there's a lot of suffering. As I choose to walk with source and God's energy, I realize that that true state not only helps me to be free from suffering, but also to help others enjoy the journey of awakening consciousness. How do we get there? Relax. And if you're going to go upstream and go for a really great run and use all your energy, at the end of that run, you still need to relax. So everything comes in this cycle of relaxation. Meditation is the foundation. Daily getting aligned. And whatever methodology works for you, go there. If it doesn't work for you, don't go there. And when you're ready, more does open. They say there's only really one meditation. It's following the breath, witnessing the gap between the breath, where you become totally still and connected to your true state of consciousness within yourself. I've seen it. I've done it for years. It works. Getting there, I've used many methods. Chanting, singing, dancing, dynamic, kundalini, all of it. It's all encased into this masterpiece of being human. Your body means something. You are a masterpiece. You're fantastic. You're beautiful. The more that you accept yourself, the more that you attract like-minded people. And when you attract like-minded people, make sure you realize the separation of individuality and the ego. Own your own shit. Or own your own ego. There's no other way to put it other than that. This is my moment here. It's Leanne. It's getting blissed out. I'm excited again because I've had a beautiful cycle of a week. I know I'm closer to finalizing some things for my website and the beautiful people in my life that I want to share with you on this TV opportunity to share globally with where the world is with internet. At the same time, enjoy your journey. Enjoy the process. Keep loving yourself. What we got on here. Keep dreaming. Shine like a star. It's Leanne. Get blissed out.